On cue.
I think we need to label the buttons, like for real, because
It's really only one button. So
I know the other ones we
But
should label. Like, can you put music on, like Bruce?
So are we
Springsteen?
on or not?
we
Yeah,
are on.
we're on.
We
Okay.
are live. Yes.
It's live, so you got to
Yeah.
watch you say it's Hermie
Right.
Sadler.
Yep.
We got Hermie Sadler today.
So is this PG-13? What is the rating here before we go?
Oh, wait, anything you want.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No.
We are getting ready to do 3 million households in Virginia and that with antennas or something, no, right?
Something like that. Yep.
Which we don't know how many people listen, but I guess we're not supposed to say fuck, so I don't know.
But until then, we can.
That might be a problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I haven't really said it until I just said it.
Yeah.
But it is.
Well, we're going to have a lot of people in Virginia tune into this one because I'm going to let a lot of people in Virginia know that I'm on. So
Yeah, Hermie Sadler. Yeah, how about that?
There we go.
I got him out of the freezer at home.
no doubt, no doubt.
So, what you do? Anything good this weekend?
What did? Yeah, off season. So met up with a couple friends. We did a little camping, a little mountain bike rides, stuff like that. Got.
What about the house? You got the.
It's
doing any
slow
gardening?
moving. Yeah, no. Yeah, we did a little building, little moving dirt around and stuff like that.
He got a house. He's going to be on TV, like what's it called?
We haven't come up with the name of it, but yeah, we're gonna make like a 6 episode of building our house. So, but yeah, no, already started on the process on that. So
You should have a
narrowing it
cart
down.
for my little cart, like a little racetrack for my cart.
Well, we already have a dirt bike track. So
Yeah, I'll just drive that around.
there we go.
Yeah, I got. My week is kind of funny because right now my family's here,
Right.
so it's kind of
Through Thanksgiving or
No. My sister, they literally came in at 10. Hi, Beth and Steve. Thanks for listening, Mom. But they're listening. So if they are listening, they came in yesterday and they're leaving Wednesday. That's how much they like me.
right.
Like, hey, just get in
Short
and out.
doses.
Yeah. Like,
You got 48 hours.
You got 48 hours with
Right.
me, and that's what you got. But the good thing, Steve already did a couple. I got him working at the house, fix the light bulb. That's you don't want to come over to my house. Okay, you're working. So it's been good. We went to Firebirds last night.
Nice.
It's okay, and Veterans Day today. It's exciting.
Cold outside.
Yeah, my birthday this week, which
Happy birthday, by the way.
we'll see.
Happy
I see
birthday.
the Twinkies,
Yeah.
and
And thanks to all our veterans.
yeah,
Yes.
yes, no doubts. And if they come in today, we're going to do. Just let us know you're a veteran, and we'll do something for you.
Yep.
I mean, that's if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here.
They are
Very true.
underappreciated in most cases.
Yeah.
Very much so.
So today we got Hermie Sadler.
We do.
Why don't you introduce yourself a little bit, Hermie? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, it's not a whole lot to tell, Ron, and you know most. But Hermie Sadler, I'm from Emporia, Virginia, and been knowing Ron for probably 25 years. Back in the day, I started racing in NASCAR. My first full-time year in what was then called the Busch Grand National Series was 1993. And I did some form of racing between the Busch Grand National Series and the Cup Series, as it's now called. And then I sprinkled in 17 years of television with Fox Sports. And I retired, or I like to say got off the road in 2019. So I declined to continue my contract with Fox at that time, only because of the wear and tear and the travel. I put in my time.
It's a lot.
It is, and
nonstop.
My youngest daughter had just signed a scholarship to play college softball, and she gave me the look. Said, "Dad, if I play softball and put in this work, are you coming to my games?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am. I'm coming to your games." And so she played 4 years, and I missed like 3 games in 4 years. So,
Wow.
but I got plenty to do. We're in the outside of racing. I'm in the my family's in the convenience store and truck stop business. And that's kind of another reason why I got out of the Fox deal when I did. My dad had got a little age on him and had a couple health setbacks, and it was just time for me to come home and help him and the family. And so, me and my brother, Ron and I talked to my brother. We FaceTimed him right before we started. Elliot.
He was looking at Twinkies.
Yeah, he was at the grocery store buying Twinkies. But we both say, we both are living completely different lives. We had our first half of our lives, and now like normal domesticated type lives.
Yeah.
where
Why did you want to talk about what we used to do? Was he in front of
he
people?
invoked the statute of limitations.
Yeah. We had fun back in the day,
Yeah.
for sure.
We all did.
Yeah. This was the spot.
But at some point in time, you have to be responsible and do the things you're supposed to do. And
But Elliot lived in Burkdale, I believe.
he did.
Yeah.
He had a place on top of Ann Taylor's loft. I don't even know if Ann Taylor loft is still here, but he had a place right on top of Ann Taylor's loft. And then he went and built a house over in the Point. Him and Casey Kane and Jimmy McMurray all built houses kind of together in the Point. And then when Elliot got married, he sold that and moved back to Emporia. He was still racing, of course, at the time. Elliot ended up retiring at the end of 2019 as well. He was driving, for Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the Xfinity Series. So we both kind of got off the road at the same time. And like I say, we are both, he's coaching baseball and, hunting, and his son Wyatt is doing some go-kart racing now. So Elliot takes care of that. I build go-karts as one of my hobbies, you might say. We build go-karts and sell them to people all over the country. But Wyatt's racing now, and he's a good little athlete too. So Elliot coaches the basketball team and the baseball team and the volleyball team, and his daughter Austin is a good little athlete too and plays volleyball at the high school. And so he's and Elliot, not because he's my brother, but has been great for our community, because we live in I will call it a economically challenged area, in rural Virginia. And so Elliot started this Top Hand Foundation, travel ball, and he paid for like 3 teams to go to Cooperstown to play baseball, things that they never would have been able to do if my brother had not been involved and funded, the majority of that for them to go. So he's doing good things in the community, but spending a lot of time with his kids, and he loves to hunt, these types of things. And so that's what he's doing. He's enjoying life, and he's able to do it at a time which I'm, a little bit envious of, but happy for him. He's able to be with his kids at 15 and 14 when, I missed all those times in years, and I regret that to a degree.
It's funny, Brett, I sponsored Hermie's race car in Dover, Delaware. And
2005 or so?
Yeah. And I paid like a couple dinners and, a couple drinks. He likes steak and lobster, gets steak and lobster. But I really was amazed. He had 3 people, maybe 4. He had 4 people, and everybody else had 20. And he qualified 15th, and it was going to rain. And that's when I first met Denny. And I was like, I was amazed at the guys that worked on his team that did
6 jobs for each one of them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
How many jobs did the guy? That little guy. What was that little guy's name?
I don't remember who I had at that time, but I do
like
remember
3.
you doing that. And back in those days, I was kind of transitioning. I had run several years in the Busch Grand National / Xfinity Series. Then I started a Cup team, and I was running some Cup races. And what I would do back in those days, not proud of it, but I'm just being honest. So I would pick and choose the races that I really wanted to compete in, like the ones I felt like I had a better chance, like Martinsville or Richmond or Bristol and things of that nature. And so what I would do in between those races is go what we would call as start and park. So I would go try to qualify, knowing I wasn't going to try to compete in the whole race, but just earn enough purse money and put that money aside and invest it and go full gear towards the races that I wanted to actually compete in. But we did go to Dover that time. And in those days, there was 55 to 60 cars qualifying for 43 spots. And we qualified 15th, first round qualifying, and that qualified Denny that particular day, and he got a big kick out of that.
Right.
Right. That's when I first met him. I don't really know as well as I do now, but
Right.
Dover is
But Denny was just getting, establishing himself.
that wasn't a good track for him at the beginning.
Right.
It was a bad track.
Well, now he's turned every track into a good track for him.
Well, I mean, but I was still amazed by that Dover. By the way,
I haven't been to Dover. I've been to the other.
I wouldn't recommend to go there
Martinsville,
as a trip. They do have the casino, but I just remember the club we went to, and there was fights. It was pretty funny.
Let me tell you, you talk about motivation. So at that race at Dover, as I said, I was starting park. So let's just say at Dover back in those days, last place purse money would be like $40,000. So when I go out to make a qualifying lap, so it's cost me probably $25,000 or $30,000 to go.
Just remember, I gave you $500.
And you gave me a $500 gift card.
big dent out of that $25,000.
The $500 gift card that expired before I ever got a chance to use it.
Right.
But it was a thought that counted.
And my picture was on the card, by the way.
It was that.
Yeah.
And they talked about him on my qualifying lap. I remember that too. But so the motivation is, when I go out to roll up for qualifying, it's like am I going home 25 or 30 grand in the tank, or am I going home with 10 or 15 grand to the good?
Right.
And that is really motivating when
Wow.
you're trying to figure out when to put your foot on the gas or whether or not to tap the brake. Is when you're counting dollars, which is a bad way to do it, but that's all I could do at the time because like I said, we had certain racetracks and certain things that we just with our resources we just were not going to compete.
Well, I think that goes back, and obviously the lawsuit's something I really can't talk about. Being friends with Denny, obviously, but NASCAR eats here. But
Yeah.
that's what I always think about NASCAR. Like how do we have a guy like him with all that money? And you got a lot of teams like that. There are other teams like that racing, but
Yep.
No,
they're spreading out the money.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what
I mean, well,
And I hate to, but I think that's what they're fighting for, which will help other teams down the road. But I do think it's when they had 43, I think it was better racing because you knew that 4 or 5 cars coming out of the race.
Right.
They're going to wreck them.
I understand both sides of, back in my day, there were no charters and no guaranteed spots. You can have provisionals and things of that nature, but there were so many cars, I would never get a provisional because there were so many cars in the points.
That's right. You didn't have a charter.
You would have the fastest 36 on speed, then like 7 provisionals, and then when Darrell Waltrip was slowing down at the end and had a hard time qualifying, they put in the champions provisional to let him get a champions provisional.
I remember that. Yeah.
But in my case, I was never going to be eligible for a provisional, so I really had to.
you had to
So how
race,
much it
race
cost
your
to
way
go?
in.
How
Yeah.
much did it cost to really get the car up there? That 30 grand or something?
Well, no, because I would use the same engine week after week after week.
Okay.
When I wanted to go to a race and really compete, when I'd go to Robert Yates and say when I went to Talladega, I went to Robert Yates, rented a car, and paid probably 60 grand just to rent an engine for that one race. And so
Daytona, maybe. You
Daytona,
do that.
Talladega, just a different way to approach it. But I understand both sides of it. With the charter system, they finally created value for the teams. Because in my day, let's just say if I had $1 million worth of equipment and I decided one day I was going to get out, my equipment is worth maybe 10 cents on the dollar because if I was selling my team to Ron or wanted to, it's the stuff like I have is a dime a dozen. He can go, and just make fire sale offers to people, and I would, if I was really wanted to get out, no way I could come close. And so team owners who were investing in the sport like I was back then really had no value. And
Yeah,
so
there wasn't a way to build in equity
it was not.
almost build
It
a
was not.
retirement.
I did
more or
it
less.
strictly out of the love of racing and wanting to be there. But now the charter system is created like an NBA or NFL, and if I wanted to sell now, my cars may not be worth as much, but if I got this charter, it's 30, 40 million bucks, whatever the number current market value is, and it gives you some equity.
Right.
And for some people, I know people that have charters that use them as leverage at the bank to go borrow and invest and spend.
Well, there's only one person I know that made money in race, and the smartest guy ever, and it's one name, Ray Abraham. He sold that guy. He owned the soccer team.
Gillette.
He ended up going bankrupt, I think.
Gillette, he still owes my brother over $1 million. Today.
Yeah, right. But he bought
Because my brother was driving for
team.
Ray, and then all his contracts went over to Gillette, and then Gillette, that deal fell through, and not just my brother. I mean, there was Casey Kane and a lot of other people.
But Ray got paid, I think.
I don't know
But that's the only guy I know.
Or at least maybe a majority.
But so that's the only guy I know that made money.
Ray's a smart guy.
Yeah, I mean at that
but
time.
That's part of the. I know we don't want to get into the meats and potatoes of it, but that's some of the reason why I think you'll see a settlement in this lawsuit, because some of the other heavy hitters, like a Rick Hendrick and a Roger Penske and a Joe Gibbs, under no circumstances do they want to divulge either the good side or the bad side of what they're investing in the sport and how much money they're making or actually showing that they're making or lack of. So it's just too many. It's too many heavy hitters that are too important to the sport that are going to be affected by this if there's not a settlement. If I had to bet, and I don't, and I'm not, but I would think I would say in the next couple of weeks you're going to see a settlement on that.
I think the biggest thing owning a restaurant and having a podcast like Brent and I have, you have to be a Democrat, Republican. You have to be, because everybody comes in Red Rocks.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. So you gotta. But obviously, with Denny being close to me, we support him.
Sure.
Wholehandedly. But it's still a tricky game that,
Yeah.
it's hard for me. I don't know enough about it.
I don't fault anybody for fighting for something that they believe in.
Right.
Even if it's not something I believe in. I think it takes a lot of guts.
Well, you said you did it with a convenience store, right? You had a deal.
Well,
up
yeah,
there.
I mean, I'm in convenience stores and truck stops for 40 plus years. We had what we refer to as skill games in our convenience stores and truck stops. It was a way for us to have truck drivers, when they're parked at our places over the weekends or for the times that they have to be down, they could go play our games, and it was something fun, entertaining for them to do, and we made money on them. And we did it. It was a regulated way. We paid taxes on the revenue.
Oh, you paid taxes too.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was
So
completely.
you just
regulated.
didn't just jam them in like the poker machines
No,
back in the day.
we did it legit.
Wow, I didn't know
Reported
that.
income, paid taxes, all of it. But then, say 5 years ago, Virginia decided it was going to open its doors to the casinos. And when the casinos came in with all their money and power and influence and investors, they came in and said, we want to have a monopoly on the gaming industry in Virginia. We don't want skill games to be at convenience stores or truck stops or a little. It would be 2 tabletop games in a restaurant. They didn't want any of that. And so when they came in and did that, Ralph Northam, who was governor at the time, signed the legislation to ban games in our stores, which I felt like was unconstitutional. Not to mention the fact that it trampled all over what I viewed as the free market system. And you guys both work and make money. You should be able to go spend your money where you want to, not where the government tells you should. So they came in and Ralph Northam signed this legislation. I said, this is unconstitutional, all these other things. And so I sued Ralph Northam as the governor of Virginia back about 5 years ago. And in the beginning, we actually went to court and got a temporary injunction to allow not just Hermie, but every operator in the Commonwealth of Virginia got to turn their games back on. And although we finally got to, up the chain and appeals courts and all that, and we finally lost because everybody got paid off, in my opinion, my attorney tells me to say, in my opinion, we got enough things done where we feel confident that probably in this legislative session, there should be some kind of an agreement made where these other small businesses shouldn't have to suffer just because there's enough business for everybody to go around if it's done the right way.
Well,
That's what we're fighting for.
Well, then he ran another $500, Brent. I got to give him $500.
Right.
Oh, I'm running for Senate in Virginia.
Yeah.
So I had to write him a check for that. I mean, the guy, only time I see him, I write him a check. So what happened there? Well, how many votes you get?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. First of all, the first thing I say when I talk about that is I hate politics. I always have. But say 3 years ago, the area in Virginia that I live in, that we've been represented by a lady who is a Democrat who I'm friends with. I don't agree with her politics and a lot of things like that, but we've always gotten along and all that. But our area in Virginia got redistricted through a redistricting thing they did in Virginia.
Gerrymandering, they call that.
Yeah. So Governor Glenn Youngkin, some people on his team, and other people I know in the legislature came to me and said, this area in Virginia is being redistricted, and we think you would be perfect, somebody who has a little name recognition, somebody that can raise money. We need to get a Republican.
Raise money.
We need
That's
to get
a
a
key part
Republican.
of the political
Yeah, I
game.
got my
I've
$500.
We
heard.
need to get a Republican in there so we can get our voice heard, because our area, as I've said a little while ago, is very economically challenged. Our schools are in terrible shape. Our infrastructure, our roads, our bridges. I have an autistic daughter, so our special needs, what we have in our area is not what we need. We have to go to Richmond and Raleigh and other places, to get the kind of services and things that we need for special needs and all these things. So I said, okay, I hate politics, but I'll do it. So we start running, and I have to go up a primary. This girl that was in the House of Representatives decided, after I announced, she wanted to run for Senate too. So we start going down the road to the primary. Our race is, by the polling, is a tie. Well, then they call me back over to Richmond, to the governor's office, and they say, well, Hermie, we're getting down to crunch time here. When it comes to this topic and this topic and this topic, can we count on you to vote this way on these things? And I said, no. I said, what I'm going to vote, I'm a conservative, and I have friends that are not, no problem. I said, but I'm going to vote on things that I believe in, but also things that are going to benefit the people in the district that I'm representing. They said, so we can't count on you to vote for this, this, and this? I said, no. I said, I'm a free thinker. and I'm independent, and I'm gonna vote for what I think is right. Well, all of a sudden, the Republican PAC, Political Action Committee, that I donated to, gave my opponent $300,000 with 3 weeks to go in our primary, and did commercial. And at the time, Glenn Youngkin was very popular in the state, and so he endorsed her, did all these things, and so my race was close, but I lost, and then.
Do I get my $500 back?
Yeah, I just gave it back to you.
Nice.
I paid like $62 for some lemon herb chicken.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, what do you got there, Renee?
This is our apple crisp cheesecake.
Yeah, put it in front of
Apple
Hermie.
crisp
He can
cheesecake.
Try it.
You probably can't notice, but I'm trying to be on a diet.
I think everybody is. Well, I figured out.
It's just one little
You know,
fork.
one thing about me being injured, people go, "Yeah, you gained weight." No shit. Well, if I get everybody else a cookie and a dessert, then I don't have to worry about it. We're all going to be on the same level. These damn skinny people that walk around.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Why is my name and Elliot's name no longer on the menu at Red Rocks?
Oh.
Was it? Did I replace you with a girl's name?
I don't know what you replaced me with, but you kicked me to the curb just like a lot of other people down here. Out of sight, out of mind. There was nobody from, the 10 years that I was down here when Elliot had a place here and over there. Nobody spent more money here than I did. Spent thousands of dollars on Scooby snacks, all these other things. And I go home, and within, a year or two.
No, we have a tracker on
I'm
the people
no
on the menu.
longer. I walk
should
in
be
and I
on.
said, I don't
should
even care.
be
I don't care if I don't like it. I'm gonna order the Hermie Sadler. And I look.
Right.
I said, well, I'm not on the main menu. Maybe I'm on the appetizer menu. Look on that, nothing. Maybe I'm on the dessert menu. That funny joke by Ron. I look at that, nothing. So my brother
You're
and
on
I.
a menu somewhere.
My brother, no, I'm not. Not that it bothers me at all, but my brother and I, we came here, several months ago and did Dale Jr.'s podcast, and we came over here and ate, and we both scoured the menu from top to bottom and scanned it and looked, and neither Sadler,
Yeah,
after all
soon
the
we
days
forget.
and nights, I slept on this couch back here many a night.
Yeah, I know.
And after some fun with the crowd and Big Bear and everybody, we would get together over here, and I would like for you to at least take it to your people, take it under advisement.
Renee, can we look at that? Like, we need to look
Look,
at the menu.
that's what I say to people when I'm not going to do anything. I say, I'll take a look at it.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, I can't. I think you're right.
I mean, I look. I know you got
at
a lot
least
of friends.
the French fries.
Red Rocks is Ron has a lot of friends in the racing community.
Grab me a menu, Renee. I need
Because
something.
he's done a lot to support people in the racing community. And so I try to support the people that have supported me over the years, but I'm not sure if I've mentioned it yet, but I used to be on the menu, and I'm no longer on the menu, and neither is my brother.
Do you remember what item you were?
Steak and
Some
lobster.
horrible thing like corned beef hash or something.
No, you were on steak and lobster for a while because you ate it.
It was horrible. It was not.
Not saying
Then
we
he switched
can't
me to
make one.
salmon or something like that. At this point, I could be. I mean, just a side dish.
I got it. Well, I got it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who's on the menu now. Like, my mother told me when I kicked her off. Let's see.
So are you telling me you're not in charge of such things?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Okay.
I'll
You'll
talk
take a
to-
look at it.
I'll talk to my people. Let me talk to my
I'll get
people.
you, and you get your people in touch with my people. But I am going to start spending more time down here. I told you, I have an open wheel modified team. Me and Senator Bill Stanley, we partnered up and started a team. This is my 4th year doing it, and we have won 2 consecutive Smart Modified Tour championships with Luke Baldwin driving, the son of Tommy Baldwin, who was actually my brother's crew chief son back in the day. So.
So what tracks or what series are you racing those in?
Yeah, the Smart Modified Tour runs. The Smart is the southern, like the NASCAR Wheeling Modified Tour runs mostly up north, and the Smart Modified Tour we run South Boston Speedway, Orange County Speedway, Caraway, places like that. The championship race was at North Wilkesboro a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
How'd you meet Tommy?
Well, Tommy, crew chief, my brother, son back in the day, and then actually in probably 2011, 12, 13, right in there, I ran a couple of Cup Series races and drove for Tommy's team, Tommy Baldwin's team.
I always wanted to go with Tommy to New York. He had
Tommy and
place-
I are really fun to listen to because I don't understand a damn thing he says. He didn't understand a damn thing I say, and we work out great that way.
But Tommy, did you ever go to New York with him to Hamptons?
I wouldn't.
Have you ever been to Hamptons?
I've not. Nope.
You wouldn't go up there?
Not with Tommy.
Why?
He's a little mouthy for me.
Oh, really?
No, I'm joking.
He married Beth. He married out of
That's
his
the only
league,
good
too.
one of the few good decisions he's made in his life.
Right.
I knew Beth back before they got married. When she was Miss Winston and all that. She lived in Richmond, and I drove for Don Beverly in 1993 and 1994. I drove the Virginia's for Lovers car in the Busch Grand National Series, and Beth and Tripp Bruce, her brother, Tripp was on my crew back in those days, back up in Richmond. So they lived up there and transplanted down this way, and somehow or another, Beth had a weak moment and decided to marry Tommy.
Oh, they're great.
But
They've
they've done really
I've
good.
always wanted to go to Hamptons my whole life, and I should have with them because they know everybody up there.
Yeah.
So it'd be good. And their son does real well too.
Yeah,
I
but
think he's
I tell you,
selling
his son Luke has driven for me for 2 years and won 7 races and 2 consecutive Smart Modified Tour Championships. And I know Tommy's trying to work to get Luke some opportunities in the Truck Series next year. And I really think if somebody gives him the right opportunity, I really think he's really, really talented and a difference maker. And he's
Well, Denny might hire him.
he knows how to.
No, they don't have a truck.
Luke
series.
knows how to talk.
Right.
And he carries himself well, and I fully endorse any opportunities he might get.
What about Ty Norris? He's got that Ram truck thing going on, right?
Yeah, I don't know. And Chris Rice is a good friend of mine. I actually lived with Chris Rice when I ran late models at South Boston before I even started running in the Busch Series.
What did you think about Corey Haim winning all those races? You think he just got
I didn't
a better
follow it. I didn't
Right.
follow it as close as, so I can't sit here and give you a, I know every time I did turn the TV on, he seemed like he was up front, but I since I got out of, got off out of the circus, you might say, I go once in a while, but I couldn't name you probably 10 drivers in the Truck Series and 10 drivers in the Xfinity Series. I still have a lot of friends around, the Cup Garage and on the TV side of things, but I don't keep up with it enough to tell you that I could. I can't break down a race
Did
or
you ever
season.
watch the truck races, Brent?
I'll catch a few here and there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he won 11 races, a lot of races.
Oh yeah, no, he
I mean-
domination for sure. I think that was even probably a big piece or the increase the dialogue for the future changes to the championship and how the points are going to be and the chase.
Yeah,
and
what you think
everything.
So what do y'all think that's going to end up being? You think they're going to go back to the old school way, or
I think, I mean, I think we should have a chase to where you maybe narrow it down to 8 people, but I think you should have it maybe just a points reset for like the final 8 races, let's say, and then you just don't change the points
agree with
on that. I mean, that's my opinion on how you can end up running it, build some, excitement maybe to make the final 8, but
I think they're going to have to. I mean, they've already backed themselves into a corner that told people they're going to do something, but I don't think they can go back to a straight up 30 whatever race series because there's too much competition in sports and television, and too much has changed. And I hate it, and I certainly was pulling for Denny, a fellow Virginian, and I think he was due, and I think he's put in the time and the work, and so I was disappointed it didn't work out for him.
But Kyle Larson still had the most points in the season.
But it was exciting.
Right.
And when you're competing with the World Series going on and the NBA just starting and NFL games on, I mean, you can't, and we had that. It's kind of, if you think back to the year Matt Kenseth won his championship, hell, it was over with 3 or 4 races to go.
right.
So
you don't want that for sure.
You can't do that. So I don't know. There's not a.
Well, my thing is, what was your favorite track? Give me it.
Probably for me, Martinsville, because it was fairly close to home. It was a short track. I always felt like I could compete better on a track like that. And then I went there starting when I was like 7 years old. My uncle used to race in the old late model sportsman days, and we used to go up there in the 70s and early 80s and watch those races at Martinsville. It's not a bad seat in the house. And, even though they've worked on it over the years and, renovated things, it still gives you an old-fashioned short track feel when you go to that place.
Well, I think that where I got a problem with Chase. Now I don't know. I'm just following Denny I tell all the new friends, I've been following 2006 when he won the Bud Shootout.
Right.
So I've been there a long time. And I was there when he lost to Jimmy Johnson with the points. He should have won. Biffle knocked into him a little bit. But I think that the tracks, certain tracks like Penske wins, they won again. Phoenix. So I think they need to have 3 tracks at least to get the diversity for the drivers, because Chevy's good at throw. You think that? Like,
Well, I
think Penske won 4 in a row there now.
Hendricks, right? Not Penske.
Well, Penske.
He's talking about the race.
No, Ryan Blaney won
right,
the race.
right.
The race.
Yes.
Ryan Blaney
Yes.
won last
Hendrick
year.
won the championship.
Ryan
Right.
Blaney won the year before there.
Yeah.
So Penske's really good there. So
I've never, regardless of the outcomes, I've never agreed with, like at the beginning they went
I
to
gotta take some
Homestead.
drugs, man. I got this cold or something. That,
We went to Homestead,
hey, this is-
year after year after year after year after year. Then we went to Phoenix, year after year. I would think NASCAR is maybe missing an opportunity on that to kind of be at that and maybe move it around, kind of like they do the Super Bowl. So I've always, and I'm a old school traditionalist, so this is kind of flies in the face of that. But I've always thought it'd be cool to start the season at Daytona and end the season at Daytona. And so maybe one day that'll happen. But I don't think they should go back to the same tracks every year, because innately some teams and drivers are better at some tracks than the other.
That's
like
not
you go to
fair.
Homestead, there's a handful of drivers like the Kyle Larsons and those that
Toyota's
know
good
how to
there.
rim ride. They're good at the top, and you cannot win Homestead if you can't run the top like that, unless you get the Jimmy Johnson caution and restart with 3 laps to go and do all that. And some drivers and teams are better at Phoenix. Now you can go with the argument that everybody knows before the year starts, and you should know, and everybody's professional. But I don't see anything wrong with moving that final race around. It would give a nice boost to other areas and other racetracks and other things if they just chose to move it around a little bit, and maybe they will one day.
And that's kind of, going back to how I think, again, that reset with eight races, let's say, to go, a reset, and you narrow down the driver so there is a chase and some excitement. And then that way it'll go to the last race, but not to the point of how it was basically whoever finishes that one race. And that's
Right.
or this year really went to who's the best over 2 laps.
Right.
Well, I think that you race, we don't. I think it has to be up to the racing people to figure out what's better. We just it's like the 4
But
tires.
I don't necessarily agree about that. In
I'm
my
a fan.
history, when you let the race car drivers decide what they want, they more times than not screw it up. And I hate this. I mean, when it comes to like, should a track be paved or not? You hear most of these drivers say, like Atlanta, perfect example. When they talked about redoing and remodeling and renovating Atlanta, everybody said, "Oh no, this racetrack wears tires out, and it's great racing, and it's the best track on the." They would be a fool to. And now, not saying that NASCAR does everything right all the time, but with Atlanta, the way they redid the track, now they've had some of the best races they've ever had in Atlanta the last couple of years. So I don't always think. In some cases, yes, the drivers need to have input, but a lot of times race car drivers, let's be honest, they're going to say what's in the best interest of them, not necessarily what's in the best interest of the series or the sport all the time. So you can't always let the inmates run the asylum, whatever the.
Well, I think that
the quote
watching
is.
racing, we want cautions. We like Daytona because there's wrecks. Greg
Yeah.
Fernelli loves Daytona because there's wrecks. Right?
Phone rings a lot on Monday morning.
Right, Atlanta, there's wrecks, there's
Yeah.
action,
Yeah.
and anybody can win the race. The problem when they used to have practice, even we owned racehorses, we knew if JJR ran a 29.3 and his pre-lap back when I was 16, 17, we knew he was going to probably win the race. Same thing in practice. It's kind of determined who's going to win certain races, right? Wouldn't you say that?
No.
Because of practice? No?
I don't. No, but
Well, I would say
I do think certain
You only have
drive-
10 drivers to go in a race.
I can only speak for me. When I was racing, there were certain racetracks that I knew before I went to that I got around better than I did others. I could go to Martinsville and I knew I was going to be competitive. I went to Darlington and I wasn't as good at those. So racetracks play to play, but I don't think anything is.
But Jimmy Johnson won 7 times in Dover. I don't know. Kyle Busch.
But he won
back in the day.
He won with 5 different rule packages and 5 different points paying
But
deal.
Dover, he always won, right? Certain tracks.
Let me tell you a Jimmy Johnson story about Dover. One of the races I went to at Dover, it was the one coming off of 9/11 when Dale Earnhardt Jr. won that race. But the first time we went back to Dover after 9/11, I ran that race. So I didn't qualify as good as I did when I had the Red Rocks on my car that day, but I qualified like 37th.
Well, my face was on it. So.
Jimmy Johnson qualified behind me like 39th. And the first 20 or 30 laps of the race, me and Jimmy are back there side by side battling for 40th in a 500 lap race at Dover. This was lap 40. When the race was over, I was still running 40th and Jimmy won. So Jimmy had a really a good talent to be able to drive a car that was really free. That was really Jimmy's secret, or his talent that he had, maybe probably better than anybody that's ever driven or that I ever raced with. You know, anybody can drive a car when it's perfect. And I always wanted my car a little bit tight because it was a security blanket. Jimmy always drove his loose. And the old days of thunder, loose is fast, and that's true. But Jimmy had more car control. And I'll give you another example. We were at Atlanta one time doing a tire test. And I was there doing a tire test, and Jimmy and Jeff Gordon were there testing Hendrick cars for a Goodyear test. And, you know, Jeff Gordon, you know, because they were teammates, but there was a time, you know, that competition, when Jimmy started winning all these races and championships, they didn't always see eye to eye. But I was there when Jeff Gordon got out of his car and got in Jimmy's car and said, if this car is so fast, you know, he couldn't make a lap in it because it was so loose. So he never even got up to speed to make a full lap because Jimmy, what was
couldn't drive it. Two different driver styles.
What was good for Jimmy,
like.
and both of them are great. But you know, both Jimmy and Jeff records speak for themselves. But Jeff could not drive Jimmy's car because it was too loose. And so, you know, I think sometimes you have to take people. Jimmy Johnson, to me, is an outlier. You can't really apply anything to him because I really and truly think, you know, he and Chad were good together. But Jimmy had a knack of, he could take a 10th place car and run 5th with it, a 5th place car and win with it. And I couldn't do that. That's why I didn't race very long.
He had a good team. He was a great
Sure.
driver.
Yeah.
He's a great.
Had all the pieces.
But Hendrick Motorsports, all of their teams have always had all the equipment. So, and all their drivers and teams don't always win. Yeah. And that can go for any team for that matter. I mean, go to Gibbs. You know, Denny won, 5 or 6 this year? You know, and other guys were competitive, but how many did Ty win?
None.
Okay. So it's not always
with Chris Gabehart, by the way.
It boils back at the end of the day to all those top tier teams. It boils back to people.
Right.
You know, the right people and the right driver and of course a little racing.
Well, made changes. I mean, he did all the championships. He's a fantastic human being.
NASCAR changed the rules 5 times for Jimmy Johnson, and he kept winning. So,
but I was trying to say too, though, there are tracks back to that people would do better at.
No doubt. I mean, Hendrick Motorsports has owned up until recently. They owned Martinsville between Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson, and even going back to Jeff Bodine, and they've always had good luck at that track, no doubt. And
what about, we're going to pivot a little bit because your North Carolina story, I have to ask you a question because it's been bothering me.
You told me when we got to the 40-minute mark, we would have run out of things to talk about.
No, but I wanted to. I
think we're just getting started.
But wait, you know, Bill Belichick. Have you met Bill?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think's going on up there? You think they're going to do good down the road? They've been winning lately.
If they, I was, to be honest, in full disclosure, Bill's general manager is Mike Lombardi, and Mike Lombardi drives the dealer vehicle that I provide to the university. So I'm an alumni of North Carolina, so I want the football program to be successful. That being said, I was lukewarm to the idea of them. I never really truly believed it would happen, to be honest. I thought it was a kind of a PR stunt to try to garner other attention from other coaches at North Carolina. Mac Brown is one of my best friends when he coached there. Larry Fedora, the coach before him, he coached when my daughter was cheering, and Larry and I became close friends. But I will say, I think if if Bill decides to stay for an extended period of time, by that I mean, say, 3 years, and if North Carolina decides to keep him for those 3 years, I think by then he has a chance to be competitive.
When NAL is so big, they got a lot of NAL money. Are you?
Well, yes. I mean, and that was one thing that maybe I wasn't all that cool with. You know, they got rid of Mac Brown, which maybe it was time for that. They hired Bill Belichick. His record and accomplishment speaks for itself. But they went from spending like $5 million NIL to $40 million. And I just said, if you're going to spend $40 million, why didn't Coach Brown have $40 million last year? So it was a lot of other things. And I was kind of surprised that Belichick and even Lombardi, they weren't able to get, you know, all the big recruits didn't rush to North Carolina.
Right.
And so I think maybe part of it is some of them didn't really think he was even going to coach a game. Some of them probably thought that he might coach 1 year, but that's it. So if Belichick can continue to make progress and continue to sell the fact to people that I'm going to be here for a while, I'm not going to say 10 years because he's 73 years old, but I'm going to be here long enough to see this through. I think next year's, if he finishes strong this year, he's got 3 games left, Wake Forest, NC State, and Duke. I think if he wins 1 or 2 of those last 3 and has a good class next year and can sell kids on the fact that I'm going to be here a while, I think who wouldn't want to play for a coach with those kind of credentials?
Well, what do you think about his girlfriend then? I mean, do you think she helps the cause?
How can she hurt the cause? I mean, he may just be able to look at her. I don't know, but I don't know how that hurts anything.
A reason to wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, I think she's got a lot of.
I guess you're trying to antagonize me a little bit, but I'm not hating on the guy.
No, I'm not either.
He's 73, and for what I don't know anything about Coach Belichick's personal life or wives or anything like that, but he's got a nice-looking young girlfriend that's been nothing but kind and nice to me.
If you can get her on the podcast, I'll give you another $500. I'd love to have her on the podcast.
You know damn as well as I do, it's going to cost a little more than that.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
women in general do, but women that age with that kind of thing going on, I'm not saying we couldn't pull her on here.
She has her own NIL.
You're
bill.
a father, right? And
I have 3 daughters. Yeah.
What? I just want to know, what is this Sephora, Alo, Lululemon? We didn't have them back in the day.
I have no idea what you just said.
Okay. Oh, good. You don't have those stores? Your kids don't shop there?
Well, I'm sure they do, but they don't tell me about it.
Okay, yeah. Because
my wife for the last 25 years, has not allowed me to have access to my credit card bills. I don't even have a key to my house. She has to let me in the garage when I go home.
Okay.
And I'm very, very, and it's probably better off that way.
Chrissy, stop listening.
No, I mean, these kids.
You're better off not knowing. You're better off not knowing.
Well, I think it was funny. Steve and Beth were telling me a story. Steve went and did something. He bought like courtside tickets, Lakers game against the Mavericks because they're a Maverick fan.
Yeah.
But then Beth decided that she was allowed to spend what he spent.
Yeah.
So I get what you're
I've
doing.
got that before too.
Huh?
Like I used to go to Vegas on our NASCAR trips with Denny and that crowd, and
yeah.
my wife would say, whatever you spend, I'm on shop. And I'm like, well, that's dumb, But let me tell you a quick, the one Vegas story I can tell you that my wife knows about. We went out there in 2019. My brother is getting ready to retire at the end of 2019. One Main Financial is his sponsor. So we're out there, and we decide a couple weeks before we go that on Thursday night we're going to have a kind of a retirement celebration / party at the whatever the club is at Bellagio. Might be
Bank.
Bank.
Oh, it was Bank back
Okay,
then.
so we go to Bank.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So we go, and so we have all the people from One Main Financial, all the sponsor people, Elliot's crew guys, Dale Jarrett, who was in the TV then, but Elliot and Dale were teammates at Yates for years, about 40 people. And we had 2 of the VIP booths up around the DJ stand.
Oh, I've been there.
All this, in the bottle service, all that.
Been there.
So we party, and they got girls on a zip line coming down and bringing more bottles and things of that nature. We're like, do you need this? Oh, yeah. You need that? Oh, sure. Bring it on. So I turn around like at 3 o'clock in the morning. I turn around and like everybody's gone, including Dale Jarrett and my brother and all the One Main people and all this. And so the lady
Life
comes
is a
up
party,
says,
Hermie.
I'm like, well, number one, I was worried about my brother. I'm like,
Right, where'd he go?
we're in Vegas and he's drunk, and where is
Where
he?
did he go?
Right,
Right.
okay.
So the lady says, are you taking care of the bill? And I'm thinking, well, hadn't planned on it, but so she gives me the bill, and this is not an exaggeration by the least, and my wife will verify this. The bill is $27,000 and some odd dollars for the night. So I'm thinking, and I'm on the board at the bank where my credit cards are. So the first thing I think, and I'm drunk, but the first thing I look at my watch, it's like 3:17. I'm like, it's 6:17 in Emporia.
Yeah.
So, so I immediately I gave her my card, and actually I gave him 2 cards because I wasn't sure about the limits on. I gave him 2 cards. Swipe. My wife calls me almost immediately. What the word you used earlier?
Fuck.
Are you doing?
Beep.
Yeah.
What are you
BB.
doing? And I said, I know you're not going to believe this story, but we had a party for Elliot at bank and yada, 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 this, that, and the other. I said, they hung me with the bill. So I'm going to need you to, my wife, I'm 55 years old and have done pretty well for myself, but I can't so much as go put 10 gallons of gas in my truck that my wife don't get notified. And she's got to like approve it, So as soon as we swipe the card, she immediately gets these notifications. You got to approve these charges. And she's like, $27,000 at the Bellagio, And so she was, although eventually became to be understanding, but the sponsors and my brother and Dale Jarrett all chipped in and get it straight. But you think about, here I am. I probably told my wife I was going to be at TGI Fridays or something. Probably wasn't even supposed to be there. And so I ended up getting hung with the credit card bill for $27,000. And going back to politics, let me tell you how bad politics are. When I announced I was running for office, my opponent, they do negative ads about you. My opponent ran an ad and said that in Vegas in 2019 that I spent $27,000 at a strip club in Las Vegas, which couldn't be further from the truth. And so,
Well, I don't know
but that's
about
how
that.
they turned
Bank
it.
was kind of like, yeah.
I said, I'm not spending a penny over 20 at the strip club. Bank, I'll go up to 27.
The more the stories never leave last.
Yeah.
Like, I think like me. Like
But see, the problem is you wouldn't, and I know my brother has done this his whole life. When he gets ready to exit, it's a quiet exit.
A little sneaky.
I know.
Gone.
I know Charlie's on here, but I said, obviously, I'm a little more mature than the crowd I'm going to at Casamigos,
Yeah.
right? But they said, you got to come. And I know why they want me to come. Okay, it's a common sense thing.
Yeah.
So I get there, and the girl goes, and she's a pretty good looking girl. Can I have your credit card, right? Right? And I'm like, oh, shit, this ain't good. But either way, they have Venmo now. So
Yeah.
all my friends, like especially Nate and Charlie, you got to just right away, you're hitting them in the morning. Okay, if the tab's $3,000, you're hitting them. Okay, you figure out how many people they had, you divide it out.
Yeah.
Unless it's you never do it to a friend of mine.
Yeah.
If you know he's taking you somewhere, you don't do it on him. But
Well, the other choice I had was let's call everybody right now. But
no, you're not going to do that.
that would have been a train wreck.
But
in
your
itself.
wife, did she let you off the hook for that? I'm glad they put an ad.
Yeah.
The bank, I'll tell you, the bank, just so you know, the best thing they ever had in NASCAR.
The worst part about the whole thing, Ron, was we still had like 4 bottles of this Cristal champagne, like as tall as I was, that nobody ever touched.
Yeah, that's the whole problem.
This girl ziplined down and brought all these bottles while we felt like we needed to have one, much less 4, and they were like $3,200 a piece.
Oh, I know.
And they sat there, and we left and never even messed with the. So we paid for them because they presented them, but we never touched them.
Is that when you say, hey, can you hold these here? We'll be back tomorrow night?
If I'd have been a little more coherent and or not worried about what my wife was going to say, I could have said, can we make a deal and maybe just take these back, zip them back up the roof, and charge me
to the
half,
plane.
Or something. But we bought all that and never touched it.
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
we all drinking
they know how to do that. They
Crown and
resell it
Tito's
too.
and
They
everything.
resell it.
Yeah.
We had, they had testing out there, and we was out there, Elliot. But Elliot did hit. I never forget it. Like 2000, probably what you're saying.
Yeah.
And Elliot hit that slot machine.
Yeah.
I walked by and they hit that slot machine, and I'll never forget that. It was for like 125 grand.
Yeah.
So he got some of the money back.
Yeah.
But he ended up giving it to everybody. Then he probably got taxed. He probably lost in that
Well,
deal.
I don't give the whole story because I don't know how much they want me to tell that either. But my brother carried 4 friends with him. They went to Vegas for the Super Bowl.
Brad, who else?
I'm not going to call any more names.
Yeah.
Some friends from home.
Yeah,
one of them
they're
is
great.
one of them is a high-end law enforcement officer these days. So that's why I can't. So Elliot carried 4 buddies of his from home. They went out to Vegas for the Super Bowl, and being kind-hearted and generous as my brother is, when they landed, he gave them all $10,000 apiece.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
To go have fun.
No shit, I need to be his friend.
He said, I'm not going to come to Vegas and go out and have fun, and
I
you
need to
guys.
call him.
I've been going to the
Sitting
wrong
in the
people
room.
to Vegas.
So look,
I'll buy you dinner, but that's about it.
the funny thing was, so he gives my brother gives his 4 buddies $10,000. Well, they all come back to the room the first night, and they're all broke. They got no money.
No shit.
And Elliot's like, we're gonna be here a week, so y'all shot your load on the first night.
Good luck.
And so the moral of the story is, which is a story of the very seldom, good ending to a trip to Vegas. They all went in together and throwed in what they had left, like $300, and put it in that slot machine, and they hit $100,000 or whatever it was.
Well, I was there.
So look,
Wow.
they gave the money to Elliot, and they like, give me the money, give me the money. He said, nope, I'm taking this money and I'm gonna put it in the safe, and when we get home, I'm gonna give y'all $10,000 back, to get you back where you started. But they sure did. They went in and hit a lucky spot after having an unlucky night.
They had I walked by, and they were all like, Chairman Cook Brett, he was a spotter, a good friend. I love that guy.
Yep.
Because I played, he rolled the dice for it. He rolled the dice for an hour.
Yep.
And he won me I would say $5,000 or $10,000. He
Yeah.
won me a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we always remember that story. But testing was good. That's when the drivers, you were probably,
You could have
little,
fun.
the
little
drivers
bit more
tested,
relaxed.
right?
Yeah.
But all the drivers went out, right?
That's
it
right.
was right. So at Vegas, they would all come out. Kevin Wood, Clint Wood, Clint Boyer,
Yep.
Elliot Sadler, Denny.
It was fun.
Oh yeah, but that was a different time when that was fun.
Yeah, we had a fun group, mate. And now that I've moved on and back at home, and I am involved in racing again through my modified team, but I'm largely out of the loop, and I miss all my friends down here, all those things. But the one thing that I, will always cherish is all the relationships and all the people I met and all the friends that I had.
Yeah.
I went with you and Denny and your crowd to Charleston for probably 10 years in a row for Denny's fundraiser with the Hootie and the Blowfish, Mark, Brian,
Yeah.
and that crowd. And, everybody's charity event I did, and I did yours, and you did mine, and we did all that. And we had some fun times and did a lot of good things for a lot of people, helped a lot of people along the way. And, the friendships and all those things, you never really, it's not the same. But
What's your handicap now?
in what?
Golf.
Probably like a 12.
Oh, I had to tell you another story about Hermie. So this is how bad it's got. So the 27, I get why he's have 2 credit cards because I'm not sure, Brian, if you understand the story, but he told me that he couldn't find a place to stay the other night, and I'm like, I wonder if maybe we might have to have a donation party for it. Maybe the funds ran low. So I saw him on the corner, and I'm like, oh shit, he's on the corner, and I'm like, does he need a place to stay? And he's calling around. I didn't answer my phone.
Yeah, I called around. I called my buddy Phil Parsons. I ate dinner here, and 20 years ago, and I could call even the hotel and say, "This is Hermie." Oh, hey, yeah, like who? No,
Right.
we're booked. Sorry,
Right.
But the hotels, they're putting a hotel in here. Oh, what do you got, Katie?
We have some of our featured drinks.
Okay, what is it?
The Kim's Fall Sunset.
Okay.
It's made with Bacardi Mango Chili Rum, raspberry liqueur, and lemonade.
Okay.
And this one is a cherry vanilla amaretto sour.
Which one do you want, Hermie?
I'll take B.
Okay, I'll take A. And you want a Twinkie? Okay, you take that. Thank you. Thank you. I want one. Let's
Splitting
taste it. Let's taste it. No, if hotels are bad in Burkdale area.
I had no idea. I mean, it was Monday night, and I told you I ate dinner here at Red Rocks with Jamie McMurray, and I said, I'll just get me a room because I had some things to do the following day, including this. I went to the chiropractor this morning to try to fix an ailing back, and said, I'll just get something. I didn't do any pre-planning or whatever. And I rode around the 405 around here, and then I ended up having to go to exit 28, and I started getting up and looking. And like one lady, I said, okay, can you, it used to be like if you went to a place like me and didn't have anything, they would, let me call across the street, and they're like, it was too much of a bother. They're like, no, I'm not sure you'll find anything
Cool
here.
that's so rare. That is rare.
Hey, you're on your own these days.
Yeah.
But he can always stay in mine. I got another bedroom now. We got.
Well,
4.
now that I know, I
won't charge you $500 though. It's not free.
Look, you can talk about the $500 all you want to, but I promise you,
Yeah,
over the
you
course
did.
of
I know
25
that. I
years,
know.
you got the lead on
And
me.
you've been my friend. That's even
Yeah.
more important.
Yeah.
I think our friendship is more important than the money.
No doubt.
Yeah,
No
we've
doubt.
had. He's seen me have a few relationships back in the day too. So
Yep.
he could probably name a few of them.
No, it sounds like the stories and good times have been a ton.
Yeah. What do you have going on in the future here? What you got the race car team?
Yeah, we've got the modified team. That's why I'm spending some time in town. We're trying to wrap up 2025 and get ready for 2026. And I do try to keep in touch with my old TV buddies, Phil Parsons and Rick Allen and, Jamie. I did some TV, with him back in the day. Adam Alexander, Michael Waltrip. I still have relationships with some of these people. But, right now my life is, I've got 318 employees in our convenience store and truck stop operations. And my wife we have 2 Five Guys burgers and fries, and
You do?
we have a faux show, and we have the truck stop restaurant, and also she runs a UPS store. She's got about 90 people that work for her. So we're busy.
You've come a long way.
We're busy.
Wow, that's incredible.
And, I'm happy to. I got a grandbaby now, a 2-year-old granddaughter named River. That's a whole different kind of love, but it's awesome. She's 2, and I'm her favorite, as you can imagine. But now my youngest daughter, Naomi, she's 22. She's getting married in April. So we're getting ready to plan a wedding, and then it'll be just Angie and I and Haley Drew. I know Ron knows, but some of the others, my middle daughter is autistic. She was diagnosed at 2, and she's 27 now, and just been great. And she will ensure that we'll never be empty nesters. And so, but I'm perfectly content, getting up every day and going to work and going to the grocery store like we saw my brother doing earlier today, and
He literally was at the
doing
snack
normal
shop.
people things.
Yeah, he was at the Twinkie store.
And Elliot and I do say this a lot. It's like this is a completely different life than we used to have, and I've never been happier. So it's great.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I think you always make people better.
Yeah.
Since I've known you, and that's a quality you had. Whether it's the guy that was going to put me on the court that brought me this shirt, and you're always you and your family have always been good to me. But I do the times when Elliot lived here and all that. That was always fun. But you sponsored.
Yeah, I remember a time here when we lived here that Casey Kane showed up and knocked on our door at the apartment over there, and he had a welding helmet on at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of stories we had here.
Yeah.
I remember I remember.
And I'll tell you another story. Casey had moved over to into the point, and Casey won the All-Star race that night, and Elliot was driving his teammate at Evernham. Casey was in the 9, Elliot was in the 19, and I was doing television for it. And we got done, and we got in the car to leave, and I was staying with Elliot over at the point. And Elliot said, Casey's having a party, a victory party, So Casey had to do media because he had won the All-Star race that night.
I was with him then.
Yeah, so we went home and showered and all that, and we got to Casey's house. It was probably 1 o'clock in the morning, but Casey hadn't gotten there yet. And we got there, and Casey's brother, Cale, and everybody else had thrown all of Casey's pool furniture and TVs into the pool. So we got there. It was probably $20,000 worth of furniture and a 60-inch screen TV, all that. Cale just decided that they needed to throw it in the swimming pool.
No, makes sense.
Yeah, and of course Casey got there and just couldn't care less. Like, oh, isn't that funny? There's my couch and my but my wife hates this saying, but it's what I use a lot when somebody says something that happened in 2005. I said, baby, it was the thing to do at the time. It doesn't make much sense right now, but it was the thing to do at the time.
Casey, I tell you, that's the only There's about 3 times I almost died in my life, and I'll tell you one of them.
But did you die?
No, but this is a funny.
Did you throw some of the
Hey, have a seat,
furniture
Steve,
into
for
the
a second?
pool?
But no, I took my first helicopter ride ever with Ray Everham to go to that race, and he won it. Long story short, I didn't realize there was a propeller in the back of a helicopter.
Yeah.
And we parked, by the church up there.
Yep.
The helicopter used to land. But I went out of the helicopter and I went right. And I'm literally about 10 feet from the blades.
Yeah.
And that was one of the chances. But he won that shootout.
He won the All-Star race.
He would race that track so good, man.
Yeah.
He would run 27.
Casey was really good. And I think, he got some concussions and problems later in his career. I think he could have kept gone much longer.
I have a driver suit Renee found of Casey's, but I need to get him a sign.
I bet you can't get one finger in it.
I couldn't get. He was a little skinny.
Yeah.
But I told you what my goal was: to make sure you eat the cakes if you come to Red Rocks, eat the cookies, come for Thanksgiving, eat the turkey, eat a bunch of stuffing. Because why everybody wants to use Ozempic to get skinny? Why don't we get on the let's all get fat routine, right? Then I would be skinny.
Look, can't you tell? I'm with you.
You're right. We just
I'm
all,
with you.
when people come up and say you gain weight, well, no shit. I can't fucking walk. I gained weight. No shit.
And you have a restaurant.
Right.
That's my problem. Like every time I go to a photo show, my wife and the head chef in the back, they say, look, we're making these new wraps or we're making this new pasta and, you get to try all this stuff at 9:30 at night and go directly to bed. And you have a restaurant.
That's not the problem. It is a problem a little bit, but it was drinking back in the day. But I don't really drink. I mean, that was the fun part.
Yeah.
I would think
maybe that's what's wrong with you.
Yeah, I think I need to start drinking.
You better. I would. If I were your doctor, I would tell you starting today to start back drinking heavy, finding some of your old boyfriends and the young girlfriends, even if it's hired.
Well, I have to get young.
Even if it's hired.
Even if it's hired.
And look, try it for 30 days.
Nobody old's going to go out with me.
Try it for 30 days and see what happens.
This is the thing I found out. So this is a funny story about me. So I went to Dr. Pico and he said, hey, I really don't want you to drink. I'm like, oh, wow, damn, sucks. Medicine, don't drink. I said, okay. Well, then I got Dr. Conway, actually a new doctor. I have.
Oh, you got a second opinion?
No, I have 2 doctors, because I have no one. Long story short, she goes, yeah, I'm not sure why Pico said he couldn't drink. He goes, Ron, you're friends with him, and he doesn't want you to fall drunk on your crutches. I was like, oh, shit. So I can actually drink? Yeah, won't bother. So now it changed a little bit when I went to Phoenix, and I had a few. I had the same problem you did, but I didn't do the champagne.
Right.
I learned the tab.
You got hung with the tab?
No, I always get me and my friend always get hung with the tab, but my friends are so good. I mean, they're all.
Oh yeah.
I get up in the morning, figure out what their income level is, and
I've had some fun.
What rate do you get? A $300 memo request or a $500?
I've had some fun with that crowd. I mean, all that bunch and Van Wingerden and all that bunch. We used to go to Charleston, and it was just. Everybody it was just.
Well, the problem with the club when you go out, Steve, my brother-in-law is sitting here. I don't know how many clubs you've been to, but the problem is like going to a
Not
wedding.
as many as you.
Yeah, well, it's like
Steve is coming in on the last 5 minutes of this podcast and has no idea what people are going to associate him with.
But what happens is it's open bar.
Yeah.
Like for a lot of people, it's weird. But when you go to a wedding, you fly in, you do all that stuff. And you want to either eat a lot or you want to drink a lot because you figure I'm going to try to screw the guy out of the money. It's like a club. They come in, especially the females, they love me for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
They get there at 11.
Yeah.
Till they get to know you, Ron.
No, till they drink all my liquor.
Oh, okay.
And then they're like, okay, I could be with him or I could be with him. Right? Now, bye-bye. Okay, I'm glad you all came to my table.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing.
Again, another reason to keep feeding them food and get them bigger.
But listen, Ron, you're warming them up for your friends.
Right.
So that's not all a bad thing.
The problem is I need to have friends that aren't as good looking.
Right.
You know what I mean? Charlie,
Look,
Alex.
I'm on the way. I'm on the way.
That's why
I'm on the way.
I need to go out with the guys that are older.
I'm on the way.
And then, that go like, oh, that guy's married.
I went to the chiropractor this morning, and I've never been to a chiropractor where they made me step on the scales. And I said, now, this is not exactly got anything to do with my back. 235. So I'm
You
gonna
know,
have to.
you know what you do though, but like someone
and
like
then you
were-
bring this cheesecake and sit here.
you were Steve, I'd dog him Steve right away. You know he's married to my sister.
Yeah.
Right away, right? Oh, yeah, my friends, he's married to my cousin. So you would be cock blocked. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry about that word. Beep, beep. So you'd be right away. I'd be like, hey.
This does go through a final edit before they.
But
post
I just so you know, Steve might have more money than you, Hermie, so I would give him the tap.
That's great,
Like
yeah.
right away, I'd be like, get the credit card out of him. So I was laughing at Steve.
I could have used Steve in Vegas back for the victory party.
You know, Steve did something that you know, when you come to my house, you shouldn't do that because it's almost like he put a light bulb in the shower.
He's doing your honeydews? He's doing
and
your
then,
honeydews?
Yeah, he did a little, like, he'll be invited back all the time.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't realize, like, you know, you come over and do that, you get paid well.
he
That
changed-
was a big mistake.
Steve, how long in the relationship with your wife did you realize with the brother-in-law you had really screwed up?
Yeah. I thought you were going to say struck gold. Yeah, no, we'll stay in a hotel next time.
I mean, now I have Renee there, so they like it. You know, they didn't like when they had just me. You know, but now, you know, my mother. The problem is I have when people come visit my mother, I am the king, right?
Yeah.
But how does
I don't
my
think
mo-
anybody would dispute that.
But why does my mother get first treatment in my house? I don't know.
Well, your mother should always get first treatment.
She's 85, right?
She'd always get first treatment.
She's like, hey, you know, like you're going over the will, like, hey, you know, what am I going to get? You know what I'm saying? So I worry about that too.
She's going to outlive all of us. So.
Yeah, just look at all that memorabilia up. How much is that Kobe Bryant shirt up there worth, Ron? I'm like, what? How much is that Denny Hamlin shirt? Oh yeah, it's like 4 or 5. Okay, well, she's ching 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 ching.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
She's
already
got a
auctioned a bunch of
calculator.
it off. You don't realize
Oh
that.
yeah, we have. The good thing about my house, we have 11 TVs, Hermie.
Yeah.
So you can watch a TV. In
Well, next
anywhere.
time I come down, I'll just need a key or a code, and I'm just going to hang
so
out
you
over
get the
there.
code.
yeah.
The thing about
I'm not changing any light bulbs, but I'm going to hang out.
now we have our front door is usually open, but
Okay.
then I have electric. If you stand there and you're not, I have an electric thing that shocks you
So in what
if you're not the right person.
Steve may know, in what parts of the house do you have cameras?
No, I can't have them there.
Okay.
They're just inside. I'm not allowed.
You have cameras inside?
I'm not allowed.
Only the ones posted by the FBI.
Oh.
Yeah. There's too many visitors I don't want you to know about that come over there. So
Yeah.
I can't have
Ron, I've known you for over 20 years. It's not a single person in America that would show up at your house that would surprise me.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, you know it's bad, and we talked about it earlier, but Steve, we need to ask you directly. So when you take a trip to go see Ron, you come in on Tuesday you get there at 3, and you want to leave right away Wednesday at 10, right? You're not like, hey, why don't we stay a couple days? We're retired. They don't have to work.
Yeah.
They have no kids.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's fly up, get the shit out of here as quick as we can.
So they can say they visited you before Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
Oh wait, it's your birthday on Thursday, so
They're not
we
going to
don't-
be here still, but
We came here for lunch.
yeah.
They wanted some free food.
Yeah.
yeah. So that.
Well, look, you don't accumulate assets by being a dumbass. So you have to know how to
well,
work the
Steve
system.
was. I mean, you know, he was very high up with AT&T, and so he is very smart. And you know, I do like that part of it. You know, but I always realized the problem in my life is like you don't realize hanging a guy with has 180 IQ, right?
Yeah.
So I'm always thinking a little smarter. So I watched Steve put together the stuff last night, and I'm like, he's got a good IQ too.
Yeah.
He was able to
Not
put
not to your level, but not bad.
So I bought a step stool.
This is like a step stool from China that
Yeah.
my dog could put together.
Yeah, but-
so
God,
He's taking out just-
no. I bought this
Just
step
know
stool.
he was impressed though.
So I said I could get in the car better, you know, if I do it. So I can, you know, I saw a guy do it, pull the step stool, easier for me to get in the car. Well, I bought it. Todd put it together. I put it up on my car. Well, I forgot I had it out there. Well, guess what my little Range Rover did?
Ran it over.
yeah, it
So
was the car's fault.
I had to buy a new one.
Good thing Steve wasn't standing on it.
Yeah.
But we did want to know, we did have the what do you call those where it helps you so you don't slide off? That one
Little
didn't
grip.
come with that one? Oh, I bought the wrong one. Okay.
Well, you have to pay more than $15. So.
Probably 20. That's probably 20. But they live in Dallas, so you know. And back in the day, he would probably sponsor your car, maybe. But
Do you know, he's passed away now, but do you know the Carter family, Bob Carter, in the energy business in the Dallas
No.
area?
Uh-uh.
When I back in my wrestling days, Dixie Carter, was on the board of directors for TNA Wrestling, and Dixie Carter ended up buying it, back in the mid 2000s. And her dad, his name was Bob Carter, very well off gentleman. He was in the energy business in Dallas, and got to go spend some time with them and get to know them over the years. And of course, went to Texas Motor Speedway many times. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know what I figured out
We
when you-
used to.
Yeah.
We back in the Singular days. I was telling Renee this. Singular sponsored Robbie Gordon.
Robbie Gordon, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So
I remember the first race we had at Texas. I'm guessing like 1995-ish. As I didn't stay at the track that motorhomes. We always stay in motorhomes, but the first one, I didn't have my motorhome with me, and we traveled out there. We were driving out race morning. I mean, early, because the drivers' meeting maybe was at 9:30 or 10. We got about 2 miles from the racetrack on, I guess it's 35, and traffic just stopped, and we sat there we all, not 20 or 25 drivers, we left all of our cars right in the middle of 35 and went, and then, of course, we talked to NASCAR about it, and they arranged to get them moved. But, traffic was so bad that first race, and the racetrack caught some heat for that the first time, because you have a plan, and it all goes into place until everybody actually shows up.
Right.
And then it didn't work out so good. But what a beautiful area.
Yeah.
They got a Buc-ee's out there
Hey,
now.
by the way, Buc-ee's. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Lucky's. What a good Buc-ee's story. But I knew Steve made it. So when I went to his house and I saw his door, like this door is like Donald Trump's door. It's got two big steel. It's heavy as shit. I'm like, okay.
it's not gold.
It's like it's gold, right?
So you judge Steve's ability to take care of your sister based upon his door?
Yeah,
Okay.
basically, yeah.
That's one way to do it, I guess.
But he can't keep a cat or dog. They all run away.
Yeah.
The cat ran away. The dog ran away. They're not good at that, but they're good at everything else.
Steve, I know you're on your way home, so it's nice to
Well, no, right away. They'll never come back. They come for an hour. Hey, by the way, we'll be there at 4 and we're leaving at 8. Hey,
Can you feed us in that 4-hour window?
They probably have a checklist. Okay,
Yeah.
like, oh, well, checked off Ron. I wonder how many friends. I'm going to ask my mom about this, like other people, how long they go for it.
Yeah, they probably got a schedule,
Yeah.
and you've probably overrun your time already.
Like, what do you have to do on Thursday, Steve?
It's part of our annual giving back.
Yeah. So he has a house in Durango too. If you ever want to go to Durango, I never got invited, but if you ever want to go to Durango, Colorado.
You're welcome to come.
Oh yeah. Oh, no,
I will until June.
You
That's
talking to
when
me
I'm
or
going,
him?
but you can come anytime.
Is he
before
talking to
June.
me or you, Ron?
Yeah, probably you.
Yeah.
Well, we'll fly out there for 24 hours.
Yeah,
And we'll leave.
We'll borrow
Yeah,
one of
day
your
and a
rich.
half.
We'll borrow one of your rich friends' planes
Oh, no doubt.
and fly out. That's one thing I hated, and one reason I retired when my brother went back from he ran in the Cup Series for years, and he went back to the Xfinity Series. He had a Citation 3, which I could fly with him, so I could stay home a day later and get home always a day earlier. And then when he sold his plane, I'm like, this commercial checking baggage and stuff every week is for the birds. And so I said, I'm retiring. I'm not doing it anymore. If you can't afford a plane to fly me like I want to, I'm
How
retired.
about the team plane? Do you just fly that?
Well, we started, when I had my team, I had a Cheyenne that was mine, and then never went past that much. I always just flew commercial or drove a motorhome. Sometimes drove the transport truck, whatever I needed to do that particular weekend to do it. But Elliot and Dale Jarrett both got Citations. And
nice.
that was so nice.
Yeah.
It picked us up right in Emporia. You just go get on the plane, luggage. You don't think about it until you have to, I knew it was time
And again,
for me.
it was his money, right? You didn't. I don't see it chipping in at all.
Nope.
No, you just let him do it.
Nope. But I'm the reason. I'm the one. I got him started in racing, so he still owes me. I knew it was time for me, Steve, to get off the road and quit traveling when, and you probably never experienced this, but when you're traveling a commercial flight and the plane pulls up to the gate and then all the people from the back just run to the front
Oh yeah.
and stand. And when that kind of stuff, because laid back, easy going. When that stuff like started irritating me, I just said, no, I don't.
I don't sit back with the commoneers, but but it is
One,
you know,
1A.
I did have to. And the last story, I swear we're gonna get done with this. But so I get first class 1A every time now, 1C, right? I'm in there, and they go, oh, the bathroom is broken in first class, and I'm like, oh shit, we're going to Vegas, right? I'm like,
It's a long flight.
right? I'm like. Okay,
Is this because you missed Denny's flight to Vegas?
No, they didn't. I didn't get. You know what? And by the way, I love Denny, and I'm glad they have 3 kids, a nanny, and
But it's taking your seat.
a dog person watching the dogs, a cat person. Then you got Greg with 3 kids.
So now you're no longer on the manifest.
Yeah, I get it. I have no problem. Look, he's done so much.
Squeezed out.
To go see Denny race, I have no problem. But I have a problem with the pilots using my bathroom when I can't use the bathroom. Right. So
You should have asked now before you get on the plane. That sorry, we're gonna have to switch
I
planes.
walked back to 30A. I just want to let you know, I walked back to 30A, and I realized I want to make more money, so I don't have to go with that again. Because I saw what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, people were like farting, and they're like,
No, but people,
barfing.
it's like there has to be a orderly. If you're in 37C, there's no need for you to run up to seat 10 and just stand there. It's like you're supposed to have some type of a
unless you're catching a flight.
order. Yeah.
Unless you're catching a flight.
Well, in most cases, they'll make an announcement, or we want to let these people out. But when those kind of things started irritating,
So you won't go? Oh, it's like a couple $100 more first
look,
class.
I spent 35 years flying because I had to. Now I fly if I want to.
See what I'm saying? He can't find a hotel room. Things are starting to add up. You know what I mean? He's going to stay at the Hampton Inn. You know what I mean?
But I'm going to hang out with Steve in Dallas. And
Right.
Yeah, you should. He's got good wine.
We're going to Durango.
He's got a great front door,
Right.
and we're going to
I
check
don't
it
get
out.
wine. Shit.
and no pets.
You know, pets.
Yeah, they all ran out. So they ran out. I mean,
And I'm not sure Steve quite knows everything he needs to know about his brother-in-law, and I'm going to make sure that we have meaningful dialogue to clear all that up.
Well, I can say this. Steve and Beth are probably the smartest people I know. They were both engineers, which I never wanted to do engineering. You actually have to go to class.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a business major. Like engineers have to go home and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
They probably use that pie chart that we all did,
Right.
and all that trigonometry and all that bullshit we did in high school that I didn't even know what I was doing. And now he actually put that in
The Pythagorean theorem or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I use it all the time.
yeah, you use that in your so
It helped him calculate how long to stay here.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but he used 2 of his 4-hour windows.
This is the longest podcast we have.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people can you bring? That he was almost number 2, 3 in charge at AT&T. So if you have any phone issues or anything, Steve,
You want to give him a couple minutes?
I have to
You want to give
catch
Steve a couple minutes to have the floor or anything?
I have to catch a flight.
He sat down kindly, and we've not given him one damn second to say a word.
I'm leaving.
He's leaving soon. They're going to take me to dinner tonight, though, so that's good. We're going
We're just going to pay for it. We're not going to be there.
Hey, so I do need one piece of advice because I family and brother-in-laws and stuff like that. What do you get a guy like this for Christmas? A brother-in-law as loving and kind and benevolent as Ron is.
Well, normally
Look,
it's
the
a
deep exhale is usually not a good sign.
subscription to a 12-step program.
He gave me something. It's funny, and I still have it. But he's technology, right? So I'm like, he gave me something back in the day that you could use, but I know how I did to put it together. I was like, I forget what it was. It was like a internet thing you could bring on.
Yeah.
But
And I got one last question.
yeah,
How would anybody ever title this particular podcast?
cable talk. Yeah,
What is the? How will you give like a
A brief summary.
what the
right?
hell? I mean, we've been all over the
What the
place.
hell? That's a new head.
There it is. That's the name of it.
I mean, we can talk sports all day. But people want to know about life.
Yeah.
I think people want to know about life. I mean, I need more women on the show.
Yeah.
I mean, that
I
would
agree.
help ratings.
I agree.
Renee's.
Yeah, sure.
I think Renee would be a lot better than look what I'm looking at.
Yeah,
A lot
sure,
better.
sure.
I mean, but what I'm saying is, I think it's about anything. I mean, the
Yeah.
podcast is, from Twinkies
Life,
to
I tell you,
life and experiences.
Nobody
and-
can put us in a corner. That's for sure.
right. But I mean, everybody wants, you can talk about racing all day, but they don't know those stories.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't ask you, we'll ask you next show, about fights. And I like, if you ever got in a fight at the track or stuff like that. But we just kind of talk,
Yeah, we might need an episode 2.
I mean, the idea of
He didn't shut up.
Of a podcast is to have, you want to have.
But by the way, that was your cue to start winding it down.
Right.
But there's not. I mean, looking at the thing, and the idea we need to have more women listening. You know, what I mean, I need to give dating advice.
Yeah.
I think I should do a dating advice.
Look,
Because you're the expert.
no question, no doubt.
I'll give all the dating
Why
advice.
didn't we
you
think
want.
of that?
Here's another example of what not to do.
I mean, I can give you dating advice if you like, or marriage advice, right?
I've never seen, when I've come in here over the years, never seen the young, it's always the young, beautiful, blonde, and I want to be on the safe side and say early 20s, but it could have been teens, I don't know. But she always
No,
looked
not
happy.
teens, no.
She always looked happy. When
Yeah. Well, they another one I would buy their food,
Yeah.
buy their drinks, and they would go home. So why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
There
Like,
seems to
okay.
be a pattern. People just come into your life for like an hour and a half, maybe
Like
a
Steve.
day and a half, like Steve.
Yeah, we want.
It's like, we got
He's
to go.
probably leaving tonight. They probably gotta go. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot we're leaving tonight. We got here. Oh, Beth got to
Yeah,
go.
here's a Red Rock gift card for your dinner.
Oh,
but
don't worry.
we
I bought
gotta
another.
head
I'm
out.
gonna buy another step stool.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, you're good.
And I will come back another time whenever y'all want to, and we'll dig a little deeper. But Ron, it's always good to catch up with you. You've been a great friend for a long time, and we have a lot of history, so it's good to come back and reminisce a little bit.
Yep, me too. I'm glad you're here, and Steve,
Yeah.
thanks for stopping
Thank
by.
you. I enjoyed it. Thank
And,
you.
And anytime any of y'all want to expand y'all's restaurant enterprises into Emporia with Steve's financials and
Right.
your I mean, you don't even have to have any money. I'll set you up with
Steve.
credit.
Thanks
You
for
can
volunteering.
Take over tomorrow. And look, dealing with the public and employees in Emporia it's just always just a pleasure. No problems. Everybody shows up to work on time. Nothing ever breaks. Nobody ever complains about prices. I mean, it's wonderful.
Yeah,
So I encourage
sounds
you to.
like we want to get in that business. I think AT&T had a model, right? You just, you don't really have to. You just charge more a little bit, penny here, penny more.
Yeah.
And then you try to bitch like YouTube did right now and all that. But I'm ready for the next podcast when we should bring Elliot. You can be.
Yeah.
We'll have
More stories.
more stories.
Yep.
I do appreciate your friendship over a long time.
Yes, sir.
So maybe you'll make next time he's in. Maybe Renee will put you on the menu.
I tell you what, I'm checking online, and I'm also called Katie. I've made friends with Katie up here at the bar.
Yeah,
and
good idea.
I'm going to make sure that if I'm not on the menu,
Consequences.
You're gonna stay at my
There'll
house.
be consequences.
You're gonna stay at my house. That'd be worse. Like, hey, Ron. By the way, I should have never offered. Hey, Ron, I'm here. I got my bags.
and then the blonde comes to the door. Nice to see you. I'll be here 10 more minutes.
You can use the hot tub. Well, I guess we're gonna sign off. You know
Yes.
the button.
Yep. Nope. Great show. Thanks for both of you.
Yep.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Good luck.
Great show.
This is our table talk. Table talk. Hey, it's my birthday week, by the way. Hey.
Happy birthday, Ron.
Yeah, right.
Happy birthday.
I will take gifts.
birthday.
I love gifts. I'd rather receive than give. So I'm it. Happy birthday, Ron.
That's part of your relationship problem.
Yeah.
Come by. Wish him happy birthday.
No. Bring a gift too.
And a gift.
Yeah.
Ron, it's another fantastic evening at Red Rocks. I love coming to your restaurant. The friendly service, the atmosphere, this place has it all.
Well, we have something for everyone, Mike. We can have a steak, we can have pasta, we have seafood, we have a kids menu. We have everything you need.
Well, thanks, Ron. Really appreciate you.
Red Rocks Cafe, newly renovated. Your complete dining experience.
Hey, Austin.
Hey guys, mind if I sit with you?
Absolutely.
What should I do with this?
Put it over there by my two.